All right. Where was I? So, okay. Can you all see my screen now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the other day you posted this, and so I just wanted to say that you did a really good job because you had somebody ask a question on like basically how much it was, and they shared where they lived, and then you responded and gave them that information. So I'm just curious, by chance did they call or reach out for your services?
No.
Okay. But just from like a social perspective, you did a great job. Like they wrote that question about a week ago, and I can see on the timeline here that you responded to them in real time, like when they posted their questions. So I just wanted to like commend you on like that's social done well. And like this was a prospect, and we don't know their circumstances, right? They may have just been like, hey, I'm just curious. Or maybe they actually wanted something that day and maybe they did go down a different path, or maybe they could be a future potential customer and they were honestly just like it showed up in their feed and then they were curious and then they got some of the information. And like I see that you guys posted, you know, about Valentine's Day. I like to see this. I see that you guys did a post and you mentioned another business. Now I can see from my end, it doesn't look like that business like saw, or at least they didn't take the time to like come and comment or respond. And sometimes that can either not happen at all, or sometimes it does happen, but the businesses are maybe slower to getting around to responding. So they may eventually still respond. And if they do, you would get a notification that they responded, and you could still come back and, you know, just kind of acknowledge that you saw their comment. Have you guys, now I just scrolled back a little bit. Is that the one time that you kind of did that type of post, Nita? Or if I kept scrolling, would I see it?
No, that might be the only one.
Okay. And then on a side note, I wanted to tell you guys from a customer standpoint that I placed an order, I guess, the day before Valentine's Day for my mother-in-law with you guys. And I really liked that you guys sent me a postcard. So that was really nice. I just wanted to acknowledge that, to tell you that I don't know what any other floral companies are doing, but like I got that and I appreciated that as a customer. And I like that.
Good job, Nita.
Thank you. Thank you.
A question I have, and here's kind of how this happened. Like I didn't think about it, right? Like I was like, I need flowers. I have a client that sells flowers. I'm going to call Nita and place an order. And so I did that. And then later, I don't know if it was with Ed sending me the link to your website. Let's see. I thought I had that open with the link to the website, but maybe I didn't. So anyway, I just logged in because I was like, oh, let me check this out. Okay, so here's what happened. And so I'm just totally just sharing this like customers think like this because I'm a customer and someone else could think like this. So it's like, here it is. It was just the other day when Ed sent this. So it was after Valentine's Day, but I came here just because of like our work connection. And I was like, oh, okay, let me check out this website. So then I saw like there was a coupon for 10% off of an order over $49. And so it immediately made me go, oh my goodness, like I feel so silly. Like I didn't even think to look to see if they even had a coupon code when I placed my order. So just kind of like as a like forward thinking prospect, like if this is a real coupon code that you want to use in your marketing efforts, then like on social media, like post about the same coupon code to try to bring more awareness to the sale that may entice more people to buy from you guys versus someone else.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's like sometimes, some businesses, it's like, hey, if they mention they have a coupon, that's great. Or sometimes they're like, this is a running special we have. So I guess that's just like a question I'm asking, or for you just to say food for thought of, is that a special that's running and it's only used if they mention it, or if someone calls and they're placing an order, and if they don't mention the coupon code, do you say to yourself, hey, we're running this special for our customers that place an order over this price, so you're going to actually save 10% off of your order, whether they mention it or not. So that's just like an internal question just to ask yourself.
Yeah, just so you're aware that the website you're looking at is in the design phase. It's not live.
Yeah, no, totally. But
Okay.
It just made me just think that as a customer. So then I just said, as you're trying to build your loyalty and your following and someone to buy from you versus someone else, or just to, really say, what do we have to offer to try to entice in new customers, that when and if you do have a promotion, to post about it on social media.
Right.
And you can do that in different ways. It could be literally, you could take this exact graphic in a bigger format and you could post that same graphic over on social media. You could use a different graphic. Nita could make a 1-minute video that literally says, hey, guess what? We have a special offer. And then maybe you don't even mention what the offer is in the words, but you could say something like, watch our 60-second video to see how this could save you money. And, and maybe that would entice more people to say, I'm going to watch this 60-second video to see what the special offer is. And maybe you just share in that video, what the special offer is, on social media.
Okay. Yep. Because we also send out coupons by email.
Okay. Very cool.
Yep.
And I would encourage your process, once someone has placed an order, be to actually, once you have the customer, and of course we would love to imagine that these are customers coming in through social media, but once you have them, I got the follow-up email after I placed the order, and I think it was on the same day. I think that's right. But anyway, in that same email, it had the opportunity for me to go ahead and give the Facebook review we talked about. But I'm just saying sometimes people may be more prone to leave that Facebook review after the flowers that they sent had been delivered, or maybe after. And I know this depends on so many different factors, but sometimes if I sent my sister flowers, my sister is the type that she's going to text me a photo of the flowers when she gets them. And she's going to be like, oh my goodness, this made my day. Thanks for thinking of me. And I, as the purchaser, would actually receive that text from my sister, after she got the flowers. And so just kind of throwing this out there is, maybe there could be a process where you send your original email of here's the receipt or thanks for your order, but maybe even 48 hours after the flowers have been delivered, you almost do a follow-up email with them, and then making sure that you're mentioning the opportunity for them to come and share a review on Facebook, because that might be a more realistic window of time that they, one, know that the product was delivered, and two, maybe they've had a chance to talk to that person on the phone or hear oh goodness, this made this person super happy. So then they get your email that says, hey, we're so glad that you purchased from us, and the greatest compliment you could pay us would be, coming and leaving us a Facebook review or sharing with us in 1 to 2 sentences, how you enjoyed our services. And it's as someone that's busy, and your customers that you're sending stuff to are busy too, I think they would maybe be more prone to, at that point, maybe especially if they've had that positive interaction with who they've sent them to then kind of wanting to come and give back and like take time to leave that like positive review.
So we're going to have a lot of people who don't know the outcome of the flowers being delivered. You know, not every, they're not always going to a relative. So
sure. So it's like, again, I know that I guess, whether you tested it, if you saw like an increase, I guess I'm just throwing this out there as like a possibility.
Yeah.
Like a possibility to consider and say, hey, let's try this. Let's do this for 4 weeks and see, do we get any Facebook reviews of people that, might come and leave that after, like I said, I'd see less. Some people may just give the review based on, I called, they had good customer service, and they took my order, and it was really quick and like painless. Exactly. Like some people might leave a review just on that. But I think some people probably are going to, in their mind, be like, I want to make sure my person, like, I want to have confirmation that these actually were delivered to whomever, whether it's that person, like maybe reaching back out to them, or even like you guys sent me, which was like, we want to confirm and let you know that like your flowers were delivered today.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely.
And like what I want to kind of share is like, I was going back and looking at your client questionnaire that you had completed for me when we were just first starting to have this conversation of like working together. And some of the problems that your prospects or your organizations or services have that you guys like are the solution for, and maybe even better so than your competition, is that, you guys know what flowers are best for certain situations. You're able to deliver sometimes even on the same day that someone might call you. And the order process is quick and has that human element of a kind, friendly voice on the other end of the phone. And when I was asking you kind of like some of your key goals that you have, you're like, I want to increase our exposure and we want to increase our sales. Mm-hmm. And when I was asking you, like, what are your top goals about using social media? It really was more so like you said, like Facebook, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. So it wasn't necessarily like, you may have had a goal of saying we want to use those 3 platforms, but I guess when you say to yourself, I want results, which obviously you want to have increased sales, but sometimes on social media, that whole process of trying to get more brand awareness, more people to know your name, more people to be talking about you on social media, sometimes that process can take a little bit longer before you're like, I see a direct tie to people that are like calling us more, or our sales have increased because we're spending time like on Facebook. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, when you think right now, Nita, like how much time would you say you spend on a weekly basis doing anything on social media?
10 minutes maybe.
Okay, like 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes a week?
No, 10 minutes a week.
Okay.
It's probably split into 2 days.
Okay. So currently it's not something that's taking tons of your time, but it's kind of just something that you guys are aware that you guys want to use social more to like have more awareness for your business.
Mm-hmm.
So regarding kind of like getting more traction behind the people that see what you guys are doing on social media, like, do you have any currently, what marketing dollars are you spending on any advertising at all?
None.
None.
Well, outside of email, that's about it.
Okay. Yeah. So in your business model, from where it is now to where it was 5 years ago, were you 5 years ago spending none? Like, has it kind of always just been word of mouth?
the first 5 years we were doing the old traditional ways, which were emails, big postcards, stuff like that, which has kind of gone by the wayside.
Okay. And like approximately, like how much money were you spending on that?
I think, remember how much the postcards were, Nita? They were probably what? Like,
I think with the postcards, the printing, the postage and all that was something like $10,000
yeah, I remember 10
per holiday.
per holiday. And the returns we got, I think we only got maybe $3,000 or $4,000 worth of sales out of them.
Okay. So definitely not a return on your money.
Right. And then,
No.
yeah, not at all.
Okay. So
I did try Google AdWords for a while and didn't make anything on that either.
all right. So okay, so a couple things my mind is like twirling.
Okay.
We know people are not going to stop buying flowers, right? Regardless of the economy, regardless of inflation, the unemployment rate, gifts and flowers is not an industry that's going to disappear. Now, I realize, and you know this better than I do, this is your area of expertise, that your sales may have changed dramatically over the last 10 or 15 years, and the culture and the way that people like to order and purchase things may have changed, but just the business of people sending flowers or gifts to someone, whether during a happy time or a sad time, like I don't think the American culture is going away anytime soon.
Correct.
So when you saw like a shift in your sales, can you kind of from your perspective pinpoint like what was happening? Like, was it, okay, our website was outdated, everyone else had a really cool website, and you think that was the shift? Did you, like, I'm just trying to hear you in your words, like what transferred in the time of you going, our sales are great to our sales aren't great? Like what shifted, what changed?
What do you think, Nita? Because
Well, I think it was a couple of things. We lost half of the business with our biggest corporate buyers. And the other thing is just a lack of presence. People, I mean, we're going by, a reputation that we've had. Yeah, Buning and Exotic Gardens have been around since the 1920s, but, it's not like we have our own flower shop anymore. We don't, our bands with our logo isn't driving up and down the street anymore. So we need to do something to, turn that around to another way, so we can get more business. And I'm not sure where to go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. And
also in 2008, when the economy tanked, our business, we lost quite a chunk of our business too.
Okay.
Mostly corporate, but yeah.
And I'm not a big flower purchaser, so I don't honestly have any idea. So I'm totally just asking this out of a place of ignorance. But your flowers versus 1-800-Flowers or whatever it is, do you think that the prices are really similar, or are your prices higher, or are your prices lower?
It varies. It varies because some of our prices are exactly the same. Some of our prices are a little higher. Some of them are, I don't really think that we are lower because of the fact that they ship a lot of their stuff. So they've got lower prices on that. Okay. But in the long run, 800-Flowers is like us, it's a call center. They don't fulfill their flowers.
So do you have, and ultimately what I'm getting at is social media, even if we're doing everything right on your page and we're posting what the flowers look like, we're responding to people, we have good customer service, someone answers the phone when someone calls to place an order, even if like on social you're doing things the way that you should be, if people aren't seeing that, like you're not going to see an increase in sales. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yes, we can internally say, I have this person's email address. I am going to say, what can we do to nurture that relationship so that that business, especially if they're local, that they keep us top of mind when they need the services that we offer. So that's something that physically you can do. Like if you've got those email addresses and you are just trying to stay top of mind to those people. But kind of like the bigger picture of what you guys need and what you want is you kind of want to be seen, be noticed by people who honestly may not know who you are now, and you want them to think of you and buy flowers from you versus maybe an option when they might have 10 choices, like you'd like them to pick you guys. And so part of that on social media, whether it's Facebook, Pinterest, all of these places, which there are people on all of these platforms using social media well, is you're trying to get people to have more of a reason to come in contact like with you. And so just kind of, you mentioned, like, we know the products, we know the reasons why people need flowers. And I know that the flowers are ultimately like not there in a warehouse where Nita is sitting, and the flowers are kind of coming from the locations in the cities of where people live. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, what'd you say?
They're filled by florists in the area where the person lives. Correct.
Got it. So it's like we want to ask ourselves, how are you different than the other choices out there? And who is that target audience? And how can we go out there and be seen and be heard by more of those people? And I know some of your customers on like maybe the business front, like how much, if you had to guess, would you say of your business is repeat business from some of the same customers? Like, do you think you know that data?
95%.
95%. Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever like literally sat down and asked any of those people like why they use you? Or do you feel like you know why?
No, not really. I mean, I've never actually asked them. I think a lot of our customers, of course, are businesses, and they have a charge account with us. So, they're not going to call another florist where they're going to have to use a credit card, where they've got an established business with us. And our other customers, a lot of them have accounts with us, have had accounts with us since the 80s.
Got it. Okay. And so if you've got currently a business model where 95% of your business is like repeat business, and you have people coming back to you, obviously you guys are doing something right with like the following of people that you currently have. And what you want to do is you want to have more relationships with other businesses, and you would like more of those types of accounts, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think if I had a choice, I'd like to see 90% or 80% B2B versus consumer.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I was thinking LinkedIn might be a possible avenue to get out there for the business side.
Right. And Ed, are you personally on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, do we have a budding page, Nita?
I don't think we have a budding page, but I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, are you, in order to get more exposure by more people, like you have to think of social media as a place that it's like a foundation to try to draw people in to learn more about you. But it's like you want to, like the two things I would say is like you want to ask, we should have some type of advertising budget on Facebook, specifically, just because you kind of have like a good base there. I know that you are, how are you in the timeline on the website?
Well, I was hoping for March 1st, but it may push to April 1st.
Okay. And so, like, I know you asked and you wanted my feedback,
Yeah.
and I want to respect you guys' time. The website, I really like it. I would say, just like, if I'm just totally being thought, like, thinking about the end consumer,
Yep.
is if you're telling me you want more B2B and you want more people that, like, corporations and businesses to think of you, like, just like this lady looks super friendly and warm, like, it would be lovely for one of these scrolling photos to kind of look like what I imagine when I think of a business is, like, I'm imagining the flowers being delivered at the receptionist desks at some business, right?
Yep.
And even if that literally means you're doing a pretend photo shoot and you guys go and you have flowers and you're at a business, whether it looks like it's a bank or if it's a doctor's office, and you've got someone with a warm and friendly smile and they literally look like they're delivering the flowers, like, to the receptionist, like those kind of photos, like, in your branding, so that the people, when they land here, feel like you're talking to them and not just the person that's going to walk by, like in this photo, and, like, walk into the flower shop.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. The one that you're looking at now is the one that we put up there because we do a lot of trade shows. That's why we had that picture up there. Yeah.
When's the next trade show that you're going to?
No, we don't actually go to them. We supply the flowers for a trade show.
Oh, okay. So it's like, but it's like a business. Like, someone's paying you to provide flowers for their trade show, right?
Right.
And it's usually the individual participants.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, the vendor, the organizer of the trade show.
Exactly.
Sometimes we have that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on the show, but yeah, we've got 2 coming up.
Right.
So, look, I mean, I think the website is great. I like the categories. It's very user friendly. I would say that if you want to have a means for people to know that if they give you their email address, that's something else. I don't know how that business structure works. Like, do you have the ability to physically, like, offer discounts or coupons if someone else is fulfilling something on the back end?
Yeah, because it comes out of our profit.
Okay. But it's like, if that's something, let's say, like, if we were to say, like, a social media strategy really is you're trying to get more people from social media, like, into your database, social media to become your customers, social media to come over to your website. So it's like, I would definitely make sure that you have, like, 5 or 6 blog posts before you entertain the idea of, like, specifically going to Pinterest. The same with LinkedIn. Like, you want to have a reason to drive people back to your website, not just for the purpose of buying something, but really, like, you want to kind of educate them on, like you said, these types of flowers are really popular if someone has a baby boy or a baby girl, or different sized arrangements if it's for, just a work-related something for somebody in the office, or if you guys are getting a phone call because someone, they need funeral flowers for a funeral.
So can we post those blogs on Facebook?
Yeah. So, for example, if this was a blog post, like right now, the link at the top of this page, once I clicked on it, like, this technically is a blog post that's really short, but it's a blog post. So you would literally come up here, you'd copy this, and you would actually, on Facebook, like, post about this. So if this happened to say 5 great gift ideas the next time someone has a baby, and you'd go to Facebook and you would basically do a post, you'd have a photo or a video that kind of alluded to that was what it was about, and then you would actually include that exact link for the blog post. So when they land on it and they click it, it's going to bring them right here, exactly what you want them to read, and it's not going to bring them here just to your homepage of your website.
Right. Okay.
But the one thing I would do personally before I would go live is I would have somewhere in your website design, or even if it's a pop-up, and it would be something like, place your next order with us for like, I don't know, like 20% off, like almost make it be really enticing for them to say, I want to give them my email address, and you're going to give them a coupon that doesn't last forever. Maybe it expires in 60 days or something, to try to like get their email address and maybe to encourage them to place their first time order.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will make the mistake of somewhere way down here in the bottom is like an opportunity for them to get on your email list, but it actually needs to be in the very top thing that somebody notices within like the first 5 seconds of like being on your website.
Okay.
And it's like, I almost feel like because there's so much going on, I don't want it to make it feel like, oh, I'm not sure necessarily like what we need to do next, but I would personally say make your efforts on getting your website like optimized. Make sure that it looks very good on mobile, because 70% of people are on their phones looking for things. And sometimes people don't make their websites look good or user-friendly on a phone. But make sure that your website is mobile-friendly, and once you've got that done, like have some type of way that you are trying to have, I'm going to give you this in exchange for your email address. And really ask yourself, that may be some testing over the course of time, and you may change it. You may have like a special thing that you do like in the month of March, and maybe in April you'll do something different. And you might notice, hey, we got more email signups when we told people that we were going to, in exchange, give them a 20% off coupon. Or maybe the language of saying we're going to give you, $10 off of a $65 order, like maybe just the language of how you worded it just seems to convert better, and to really try to have an opt-in on your website that's really like enticing to encourage people to sign up for you to then be able to use your email marketing to try to like build a connection with them.
Okay.
And it's like on social media, I would like to tell you, and I'm not saying like, Nita, you need to go out and like master how to do Facebook ads, but I would like for you guys to get to a place where step 1, you're like, let's get our website good, optimized, and looking current, like 2018. Step 2, we want to say our number 1 customer that we want to get 100 more of, and you might say that's B2B. And then really like getting you guys to really dive deep on like, what are those people's titles? And the reason I ask you that is when you do Facebook ads, like you can target certain types of people that have certain roles and titles at businesses. And so we could come up with a plan where you could actually either hire me to help you, or you could do it yourself, but really for you to put some ad spend behind your message getting out to the exact people that you want to try to build a relationship with and that you want calling you to buy flowers.
Wouldn't that be more on LinkedIn than Facebook?
Well, Facebook is kind of a place where you have like the best targeting really in all of the world on Facebook, and it's better than the targeting you can do on LinkedIn. But you can do ads on LinkedIn also.
Yep.
So it's like I would really like dive in headstrong, keep doing what you're doing, Nita, of keeping like relevant posts. And here's a challenge, not a challenge, but kind of like I would love to see you do this, Nita, is I was on the Facebook page. And I saw that there was a video from like seven years ago where you were like, here are gift ideas when you have a boy or someone has a boy, or here's gift ideas when someone's celebrating an engagement or whatnot. And they're good videos, but they're older videos. And even if the content is literally perfect and spot on, like I would challenge you and say, try to make the videos again, literally, even if you're saying the exact same thing, so it looks like it's a fresh new video by Buning the Florist.
And then post that, on the Facebook page?
Yes, and post it. And don't post it all at the same time, but like space it out. And like, let's just say you re-recorded the ones that you've done. And once you re-record them, like I would like to see you post it and like spread those videos out like every week. So like post it on a Tuesday. Then the next Tuesday, you're going to post a new video. And then when you do the videos, try not to have the exact same background. Try to be like in different places. So maybe one video you're outside and there's greenery everywhere. And maybe one video you do have a Buning the Florist sign behind you. And maybe another video, maybe it looks like you're in an office setting. But don't think that like it's unprofessional to like do a video where like you're outside or maybe even there's traffic in the background. Because really it just like it looks more real. Like this is a real person in a real town where real people buy flowers. And here is Nita from Buning the Florist sharing this one tip in this short video.
Okay.
And I could give you more direction on that, but I'm thinking if you did that video 7 years ago, I'm like, oh, she's going to be like, I've got this. How do you feel about that?
I'll think about it.
Okay. Think about it.
Nita's a natural, you know. So.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
How do you get the problem with those videos is that you can barely hear them because of the microphone. Do you have to buy a separate microphone?
Well, Nita, do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't have someone that you know that could record you, like I'm right now using my computer monitor to talk to you guys, but when I do all of my Facebook Lives and I am out and about, and I realize that this is a gift. Not everybody can do this, but I literally I can hold my phone like really still and my phone isn't shaking and it's like totally still.
I know. I saw your video last night.
But if you can't hold it still, because Ed's right, the volume needs to be clear, but try to see it. Do you have someone that could record you, literally stand no farther than 4 feet away from you? So it really is like a headshot, right? It's like your head, your shoulders. If there's a sign right here that says Buning the Florist, and that's it. Not a photo that you're so far back that we see your toes and your feet, because you'll be so far back we won't be able to hear you. But literally just practice on your phone and just say hey guys, I want to share with you today 2 tips on ways for you to make a purchasing decision when you need to buy flowers for X, Y, and Z. I'm Nita with Buning the Florist, and share your 40 seconds of tips. And then just say, hey, if you have any other questions, feel free to let us know in the comments below.
Okay.
Nita, on a scale from 1 to 10, how comfortable do you feel trying to make a new video?
2.
Okay.
Well, I was going to give you 2.5, Nita.
No.
Okay. Okay. And again, I just said that because I saw the videos. So I was kind of oh, let's use something that Nita does well. And let's just try to make a new version of it. So I don't mean to stress you out at any means. I'm just brainstorming.
So what do other people do when they need someone to do a video for them? They can go outside the company?
You mean actually you want someone else to do the video?
Yeah.
Good one, Ed. I like it.
I love it. He's you get actors. You get Heather. And you get Heather to go outside in her yard where there's greenery everywhere. I love it. Ed, I'm Ed, do you want to hire me, Ed? I'll make you videos.
I'm just kidding around.
That's funny. But anyway, why don't you think about that? But what I would do is, Nita, keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to put yourself forward. I would challenge you to every week do another post like you did with that one where you mentioned like that one particular business that you like doing business with.
Okay.
And keep doing the posts of the flowers. And like, I don't want to give you 1,000 things to do and then be like, oh, we have 1,000 things to do. So like, do that. Keep working on your website, Ed. Make it a top priority to say, we want to collect people's email addresses. That's like really, really important. And you don't have to know how to do that. Whoever's doing your website, they need to know how to do that. And you just need to say, the pop-up needs to say, receive a coupon for 20% off. Just enter your email address below. And all you need is like their first name and their email address. It does not need to be a contact form, because the more barriers you put in there, people won't fill it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
But do that. Literally, like, work on finalizing your website. Nita's going to work on maintaining that she's going to post at least once a week, specifically spotlighting a business that you guys have a current relationship with or have served in the past. And then she's going to keep posting some flower photos that people could purchase, and then we'll keep going from there. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So,
What?
so Heather, be practicing for the videos, okay?
Okay, I'll be practicing.
Get a bouquet and hold it up in your hand, and then you'll be.
I love it. I love it. Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. I enjoyed our call today.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Thank you. Bye.